Since they banned TikTok anyway, I'm gonna just start saying what I've been wanting to say. First thing, body count matters for men, just like it do for women. And I know y'all finna get all up in a tizzy, but just hold on. First of all, if you're a dude, you just out here racking up bodies after bodies after bodies, 50, 75, 100, 200 bodies. I've heard outrageous numbers. That's nasty. That's some nasty shit. Just like if you're a woman, you racking up bodies after bodies. That's nasty. I don't care who you are. It's just nasty. Like, why do you feel the need to fuck this many people? First of all. Second of all, if you're out here as a man just striking, you're racking up bodies like that, I know you're messing with people you're not supposed to be messing with. I know you're not focused, because why do you have time to do all this? Also, you're probably wasting money, because unless you're just hitting everything without dates, you're not spending money on dates at all, you're just hitting everything, you're fucking with some low tier women. I'm just saying, same thing goes for women. You racking up bodies like that, you're messing with people you're not supposed to be messing with. You have no business messing with. I'm just saying, you're nasty. Have some discipline. Just because you can fuck, man or woman, don't mean you should.
At ease, brothers. And just real quick, I want to make a follow-up video to a video that I posted a couple of hours ago. In the video I posted a couple of hours ago, if you haven't seen it, I'll just leave a link to that video. It was called Be Aware of Who She's Bound To. And in that video, I talked about the importance of, pretty much the importance of a woman's body count, because, you know, at some point, you know, if you meet a woman pretty much after 25, 30, 35 years old, she's been with enough people where she's going to have found a true connection that's going to be there forever. Again, whether she goes off to live and be married or whatever her life does, there's still going to be that guy connected to her that's always going to have access to her, right? So that's pretty much what the video was about. Please go watch that video first, right? But the question came up from in that video in the comments from my brother, Black Key Kyrie. Shout out to my brother Kyrie, man. That's my brother on several levels. That brother is a gold rider. He stands on that square with me. If you know, you know, right? Brother Kyrie said, question, would you say this concept applies equally to men? And I think that was a powerful question, because a lot of men, when it comes to body count, when it comes to connection and all that kind of stuff, a lot of men are saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, women, you can't sleep around, you can't do X, Y, Z, but me as a man, I can do it all day and there's no effect. That's BS, bro. When you hear men say that, those are men that lack understanding. It's just that it affects men and women different. So a lot of men think that, hey, you know what? We're immune. We can have 300 wives like Solomon. We can do all these things, but women, you can't move like that. So just quickly, I want to talk about how body count affects both men and women. Because to answer Brother Kyrie's question in short, does it affect men equally? I would say yes, but you have to understand it affects men on the other end of the spectrum. It affects men on the other end of the spectrum. And this is what I mean. Like, I'm always saying this. I might have said it in A Singular Truth. I say it on videos all the time. You can't really understand, and I say it different ways. You can't really understand the power of a relationship between a man and a woman unless you first understand the power of the relationship within self, right? And I call it the first marriage of man, second marriage of man. But you can't really understand it, right? So understanding self, you're understanding that the duality within self, ego, spiritual side. One side of you dominates the physical world. The other side dominates the spiritual world. So once that's mastered, you got to understand, okay, now it's time to, if you desire, bring a woman in your life. That duality is still present, except now each one of y'all that have mastered self now represent a whole pole to yourself. That's why men dominate the physical world and women dominate the spiritual world. And every time I say women dominate the spiritual world, all y'all, some brothers come on and say, nah, man, my woman ain't as spiritual as me. I'm talking about overall, our makeup. I'm talking about when it comes to masculine and feminine energy, right? in general, women are closer to the spiritual world than men are. That's part of her advantage. That's part of her advantage. That's why when you go to church sometimes, man, and you see, they might have a good song playing in the choir, man, and the organ is going left. That's why you see, you might see a lot of men over there kind of feeling the vibe, but you might see some women over there just shaking the wig off. It's because they're feeling that a lot different than you are. They're feeling that different, man. So you got to understand that's part of a woman's makeup. That's part, her spiritual connection, her spiritual purity is part of your hack to have her. That connection she has to the divine, right? So you got to understand that let's start with women, right? You got to understand that when a woman has a high body count, when a woman has had that connection and that part of her world has been diluted, whether it's several men's pieces of DNA in her, whether it's several men's mentality of several men's or any other attributes, you got to understand she can't connect to you like she's supposed to be. Like the power of a woman is like, and I'm always talking about hierarchy, but I always stop at the man. We always talk about God, purpose, man, then wife and family. You got to understand she's governed by that same hierarchy. So her connection to God is supposed to go through you, through your purpose to God. And she's supposed to have that connection through you. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be able to get spiritual information from your woman that you really don't have as much access to because she's going through you. So when her body count is extremely high, she has that same connection from a multitude of men. You know what I'm saying? And so in other words, instead of her, in a nutshell, I'll just say this. In a nutshell, her body count disrupts her spiritual connection. Her body count disrupts her spiritual connection because instead of her just having a connection with you, hearing the voice of God and can relay this information to you, she's hearing the voice of 100 men. She's hearing the messages from 100, 150 men. And she's giving you intel that ain't got nothing to do with you. She's giving you information that has nothing to do with you. Oh yeah, she's still hearing the voice of God because she's still in that feminine, she's still a woman. But you got to understand, she's hearing many messages. So she really doesn't even know what voice to hear. Like a lot of people don't understand, man. Once we understand our makeup, man, you gotta understand this. Like a woman's purpose and a woman's power is diluted every single time she sleeps with a man. And I know we've made it normal, man. If a woman says she has a body count of 10 or 12, this is normal. Most women are sleeping with a few, 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 guys per year. You look at 10 years time, 15 years time, and it's normal to have a 30, 40, 50 body count. A lot of women are proud to get online and say, hey, I got 100 plus bodies. I got 500 bodies. Proud. Having no idea they're pointless to a man. You know, like a lot of women talking about, oh, that man just a roommate. It's like, no. Like, I might put you in a white position, but real talk, you're just a roommate. You really have no more power to give me because you diluted your purpose and your power. So you gotta understand, and a lot of us understand that from the man's point of view, looking at a woman. So it's all about her connection, man. And if you ever meet a woman, when you meet women, when you meet women with a lower body count, you can tell the difference. You can feel the difference on how she can plug into you, on how she can give you guidance that's for you and not just general this is what I was thinking guidance. It's not even supposed to work like that. Like a woman has power. And if a lot of women understood their power, they'll be like, no, brother, like you're not even aligned to get this. Like you're not even moving in a way where when we connect, I can even do anything for you. So when a woman understands that, man, it's easy for her to get in that spot where she's saying, you know what, can't nobody get this, man. Like I'm waiting on a dude. I'm waiting on somebody that's moving in an upright manner. So the power that I can possess, it can benefit him now. Right? So I'm going to say it again. I know a lot of y'all going to get pissed off. A woman that's deluded herself is pointless to a man. Not saying she can't still love him. Not saying she can't be a BFF. But whether she has a ring on her finger or not, she can never be a wife on the realest of levels. It's impossible. So that's how women are affected, right? Now, men are affected just as much, right? You have to understand. Okay, so if women are in charge of the spiritual realm, then men are in charge of the physical realm, right? You have to understand when a man is sleeping with a multitude of women, it has just as bad as an effect. Because you got to understand, first off, you got to understand, well, let's just say this. Let's just say what it is first. You got to understand it depletes everything in him that's associated with his purpose, with God, his mission, focus, anything in that arena. When he's sleeping with a multitude of women, it diminishes that. It diminishes that. Why so? I can go knock down a whole tribe of women. I'm still the same. You may think you are, but by the laws of this world, you can't be. You can't be, because you got to understand this. You got to understand when a woman is going through a man, you got to understand when a man is moving how he's moving, he's pouring into his woman. I always use that term as like a supercharger or turbocharger. You understand a lot of what you get, you're pouring into your woman to double down on your energy to give back to you. As she's going through God, you're pouring in her. It's just a beautiful machine, right? When you have a multitude of women, 9.9 times out of 10, the women you're dealing with are moving in their own independent energy, which means if you mess with a woman and she's just cool with you just messing with her this weekend, next weekend, next weekend, a different woman, next weekend, a different woman, odds are she's sleeping with more than one man. So the energy you're supposed to be getting back from your quote unquote wife, that energy is just being dispersed all over the place. Like I said, you might have some women that are sleeping with some men that are just low life, that she's actually pouring your energy into them. So your drive and focus is diminished. It is shot, brother. Like vision. A man, every single man I know that's trying to knock down every woman every weekend, he has no vision. You ask him who he is, where he's going, he can't even answer you. Mission, not even present. Self-mastery, the desire to walk as an upright man, to be more connected to source, it's not even in his thought pattern. So yes, men are just as affected as women. Is just on the other side of the spectrum. So when a woman, even if a woman is moving in an upright manner, and she gets with a man that's moving a certain way, he's pointless to her. He's pointless to her. Why is she pouring into a man that can't build? Why is she pouring into a man that takes all of his resources and just rations them out to the concubines of society? So he's just as pointless. You got to understand, a man that sleeps with a multitude of women typically has poor decision-making skills, and he's compromised. He on a regular basis, he compromises his integrity. He compromises his integrity. And when I'm talking about integrity, I'm talking about the strength of the relationship. If you're setting the walls of the relationship with your masculine frame, in other words, you're saying, this is who we are, this is where we're going, and you set a wall around that, you have no integrity. Meaning your walls are getting cracks in them on a regular basis. First, this is the play. Next week, this is the play. Next year, this is the play. Like the power you're pouring into your world is just leaking out because your world has no integrity. You have no leadership. And I say you have no integrity because now you're living instead of being in a state of constant energy, like the zero frequency of God. Now you're moving in a feminine energy. Now you're living in a state of chaos. Now you're all over the place, and you gotta understand that's simply a feminine trait. That chaotic energy, we aren't supposed to move like that. So when a woman comes in your life and you're just, all over the place, it's like, bro, you have no integrity. So again, you're pointless to a woman. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, like when I moved like that many moons ago, when I was all about, hey man, I'm just trying to, man, have fun and sleep with, man, I was attracted to dysfunction. A man that sleeps with many women are attracted to dysfunction. Matter of fact, she may look good. She might be thick in the drawers and the whole shebang. But if she's not dysfunctional, you won't be attracted. Because a woman that's not dysfunctional, she'll see you from 30 moons away. She'll be able to see you as soon as you come through the door. She'll be able to see how you're moving. So you'll just be attracted to dysfunctional women only. Right? And again, like I said about the women, you as men, us as men, moving like that, we're pointless, right? So I just want to make this quick video because we don't talk about this enough. Of course, like I said last video, we don't talk enough about women having certain body counts and not the danger, but the damage it can do to a relationship. Brothers, we can't be out here just sleeping with 1,000 women either. And I'm going to tell you, once you start walking in a certain energy, once you get a certain knowledge and understanding of which I've been talking about since day one, understand the dynamic, amongst self, then you'll understand, you'll even lose desire to be in that state where you're just sleeping with a lot of women, brothers.